Okay, I'm live. I'm live right now. My microphone is on. I meant to mute that. It's fine. Nobody's watching. Let me mute that. What do you know? My camera is currently not on. Let me fix that, shall we? Streamlabs is certainly, I think, just for my brain, more user-friendly, but I do love OBS. OBS has got to be top 5 programs that have ever made me want to hurl my computer into oncoming traffic. Thank you, Kevin McLeod, for that awesome intro fill. So, here it is. Here we are. Hello. I'm not going to do an intro because I have one viewer and he doesn't count. So we're just going to rock and roll. I'm just going to, you know, kind of talk about what's going on here until somebody puts interest to it. And I'm going to turn myself up even in the microphone. Hello, hello. That sounds better. Or I suppose someone will tell me, hey, you know, there's a whole chat function. Whoa, look at that. My first chatter. A little quiet. How about now? I realize there's no stream delay, which I wanted to have just in case. It's better now? It's better now. Alrighty then. So, for a sake of a clip later on, welcome to Maps and Morons. This is the only creative writing Twitch stream. So, if you found your way here, congratulations. No, writing and reading, oddly enough, right, has not been a Twitch category for very long. I found this out talking to one of the guys who pioneered it and got it established on Twitch. Very, very cool stuff with that. And thanks to the excellent team at Stream Elements, we're crossing borders, baby. We are doing some serious outreach here. And I've got live streaming on Twitch and YouTube happening simultaneously. This was an absolute monster to set up. Not because it was hard, not because the tools are bad, because I am just deficient. So that's kind of where we're at. But here we are now. So I don't quite see the viewer count on this. I'm looking for the viewer count. I'm still new to this. So I'm trying to. Stream Elements is a user in my chat. Is that what that means? I just timed out myself? I timed out Stream Elements. Oh, hello, amazing screw up. Yeah, that is me. I am a talking head. That's got to be my role, just kind of in society. I've decided. Trying to get ahead of the game. Stay ahead of the curve. Stay ahead of the haters, right? Okay. This could be just an entire stream of dad jokes. I mean, that could be the stream. Would you want to watch that? Probably not. So let me go ahead and try to figure out how to take this window out. It's completely blocking my view. I did it. I timed out Stream Elements for 86,000 seconds. Is that bad? Is that a bad thing? Do I need them? Do I need them in order to stream? Did I just put like a contract on my head? Oh God! If they put a headhunter out after me, I'm toast. How do I undo that? Tori, you stream from time to time. I understand. How do I untime out? How do I fix this? I don't know. You know what? Stream Elements, they've got a good thing going. I'm sure they'll be fine. They've got better things to worry about. I will just, as long as I don't time anybody. Okay. Thank you for the tech support in chat. Let's go untime out. If I hit enter, that's just gonna put that in the chat. Untime out. Yeah. Oh, amazing. I'm doing so well here. Let me see if I actually type Stream Elements after it'll work. Did it do it? Did it work? Did it? Did it? Genuinely, I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know if it did or not. Also, it says there was a comment that was removed by a moderator. I don't have moderators. I guess I should give mod privileges to somebody, right? Here, I'll give Michael some mod privileges. Is that how that works? I've done this before on Twitch. I just don't recall how exactly it works. And can I? He's watching on YouTube, so that's probably not gonna work anyway. But I'll give you mod privileges, Tori. You're a trustworthy individual. So I've been told. All right. So I'm just gonna actually like. Did I not do it? I thought I did it. Untimeout username. Do I have to put it in the? I don't have to put it in the asterisks though, do I? Because that seems redundant. I closed the doc. Okay. Let me try that again. Let me open this up. I should have known this stream would devolve into just me clicking randomly and not understanding what's happening. At the end of the day, that is my fault. No, what did I do? No, what did I do? Don't say no. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be concerned about yet. This is painful. This is like, I'm sure this is like. But didn't I give you mod? Didn't I give it to you? I typed the command. Is that not the command? I could have sworn that was the command. hang on. I need the chat back. Chat. There we go. There we go. Now this is the actual Twitch window. /mod username. Yeah. The amazing screw up. Yay! I did it. Okay, I actually did it. And you can't tell me I didn't do it because it says it on the screen that I did it. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Oh my god. Okay. Thank you so much for removing the timeout on Stream Elements. I can't believe it. No, thank you. Thank you so much, Tori. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad I could count on you. So, wow, I can't wait until I actually like know what I'm doing. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be a really cool feeling. Okay, so let's just kind of let's just kind of jump in as if this were a normal stream. So, hello, my name is Parker. I am a senior in college. Can you believe it? Look at me. Look at my live stream. Can you believe they let me get this far at an accredited university? I do a lot of random stuff, just kind of all over the place, trying to find a way in the world. And some of my notable credits include summer camp coach, esports commentator, insurance secretary. So I do a whole lot of random stuff, a lot of side hustles. This is my latest hyperfixation. I am a student of writing, so I do a lot of it just by the nature of my degree path. And so this is going to be another venture of mine. It's a novel set in a fantasy world of mine own creation. And Micah Waika in the chat is actually also kind of the arbiter of this universe here. We created it sort of, or he created it and then I kind of expanded on it. So it's like a collaborative effort. And for my class, writing the novel, in order to graduate, I need to write a novel. So if that sounds like fun, you're wrong. So it's going to be something basically to do. Streaming is something to do while I work on that novel. Rah, 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 rah. Like a true elite. I'm also going to be eating carrots throughout this whole thing, by the way. Because another one I forgot to list this on my CV. one of my credits includes horse. So I've got that going for me. So basically, I'm going to be writing this book on stream over the course of the next 16 weeks. And this is going to be kind of an experiment about streaming. You know, you see everybody trying to do streaming, and they try to do a whole lot. They try to be the best. They try to innovate, reinvent the wheel, however they want to do it. This is not what I'm doing. This is not my vibe at all. This is the jank to end all jank, and so I'll be owning that proudly. Welcome, the engineer. Good to have you. Yes, I've been a talking head for most of my life now, and now I'm actually going to put it to use. You don't need limbs or a corporeal form to have good ideas. Never let them tell you otherwise, okay? Don't let them put you down. So, engineer, I'll kind of fill you in. This is going to be kind of my social experiment. Over the next 16 weeks, I will be writing a novel on stream. So this is for my class at a university, and it's going to be just kind of, fun for us to do. And I do not need the idea for the world, because I've plotted that out through several short stories and other assignments that I've submitted. But I welcome any kind of collaboration and pitches for kind of stuff to add. That's one of the biggest benefits to just talking to people while you're working on creative stuff. This is like the best way for me to get out of a rut. So, yeah, Micah says, we're joining at a bit of a low point here. I'd say that's a matter of perspective. I'd say that's a matter of how you're looking at it. Just because this novel has no foundation just yet doesn't mean that it won't at some point. So, engineer, if you stick around, and if you don't, I don't blame you. No, I'm not going to do that whole self-deprecating thing. It's only been 10 minutes. Wi-Fi died. First world problems, bro. No, I had... So before I answer your question, I had the most fun you could have setting this up. A couple days ago, I streamed for 10 minutes. There was no audio. Nothing was working. And then I crashed out like Snoop Dogg and killed it because I was losing my mind. And then the following day, so yesterday, I did a lot of setup. I went to bed with everything ready to go. I just had to click start. And then I get here at 3 o'clock my time, and it's almost 4:45 my time. And nothing worked. It said error message. It said you thought you were doing something. Should have known better. And then it exploded and died. So I revivified it as if I were a necromancer and willed it into existence, and now here it is. And so thanks again for Micah. His background at IT for Walmart really came through. So appreciate you. Race's backstory plot points. This is one thing that, again, I will never say no to. I have the general premise of the book plotted out. Over the next couple days, we're going to nail down some of the major world building. We're going to nail down more side characters, and we're going to fully establish the goal for our hero. I'm like a multimedia brainstormer, so I have maps, and we have morons. You can never be without morons on an adventure like this. Dragons and magic system. This is an excellent question, and I thank you for it. Why am I even going to bother with a ton of setup, a ton of waffle? I'm not Marley. I can't claim that. I dropped my magic floating earbud a second ago. We're going to title drop. What did I say that was the title? You'll have to remind me. I've already forgotten. Dragons. Yes. But they will not be referred to as dragons, and I'll explain why in a bit. Let me explain the magic system here, because that's a great question also. So, the magic system is referred to, and let me go to it on my little document here. Right here, you see that? I'm pretty sure you can see that. Yes, you can see that. Maps and morons, roll credits. You can see the Nexum. This is the magic system of this world. So the world is known as Mythogra. It is your classical kind of Dungeons and Dragons, fantasy, Forgotten Realms type of setting. It has its own world, culture, everything. So nothing is going to be called what it is in our world. Okay? And every race and species and things like that, they're going to kind of be adapted to have their own kind of uniqueness to them. So there will be dragons. The people who live in the world are not going to refer to them as dragons, if that makes any sense. It's going to have, like, for example, let me type this out. So we've got, oh no, sorry. For the Noble Skies podcast, you're going to need to go to the Internet Archive under the Dead YouTube Channels tab, and you'll find the Noble Skies podcast there, buried under hours and hours of AI VTuber edits of Micah. It's gonna really kind of put a damper on your mood. So if you want to embark on that journey, I won't stop you. But you've been warned. Let me throw it here, and I need to pop out the chat. Because if I have my writing software up, I can't see the chat. Can I do that? Is that something I'm capable of doing? I popped the window out. And it's floating in OBS, but when I click off of OBS, it doesn't follow me. Dang it! I really don't want to. I really don't want to lose this window. Come on, give it to me. I dragged it off the screen and now it's gone forever. Okay. I suppose I could shrink this. Shrink this. And keep it up. Because as long as you guys can see it. If I window it, is it gonna work? What have I done here? What have I done now? Oh god, it's happening. Okay, well I don't want that. That's just counterproductive. That's gonna be completely useless to me and to you if I have this moving. Let me full screen it again. Dang it. I don't know anything about streaming. Oh god. It's just dawning on me now. Had my own idea for my own book, but I don't write that well. So I'm kind of giving it away, says the engineer. That is totally cool. Oftentimes we think, right, that we struggle in moments like this to kind of, you know, put things in a tangible, digestible format. The biggest thing you got to remember is that you're only as good as you like continue to practice. So if you were looking to share this out, that's fine. But if you got an idea and you're thinking to yourself like, this is neat, this is like uniquely me, right? You know, hold on to it and own it too. There are plenty of resources, you know, that will help you kind of with that. Do you use any kind of supplementary materials? Or do you just have like Google Docs on a laptop? Because you don't need anything fancy. I wish I could show you my stream setup now. I'll have to do that at some point. But this is the jank to end all jank is what I said. So like technical ability, right? That's not really gonna hold you back as much as you think it does. I don't think. So BRB, we'll see you when you get here. I'm just gonna keep fiddling with this. Basically, I've got like a window here that says chat, and I wanna steal it, and I wanna put it on my screen out of OBS, so you guys can continue to see this. Let me delete this. This is also, that was a joke. That's not a thing. That's not a real thing. Let's see. That lets me pop the window out. But it's also, that's just the Twitch chat. I need all of them. I need all chats. I need to be able to see every chat. Multi-chat. Live docs, multi-chat. Where is it? It's gone. Like I dragged it off screen and it's vanished now. This is insane. It's insane that any of you are still watching this right now. I need to call somebody. I need to call a psychiatrist. Okay. If I dragged it off screen, it still exists, but it's just, I can't click it. I can't touch it. Can I actually get a break right now? This is insane. Okay. I'm gonna click back onto this every now and again. Like every 30 seconds I'll click back to it. Because I don't want to lose it. So if you want to have a secret meeting in chat, now's your chance, because I won't be monitoring it as closely while I kind of type on this. I'll wait till the engineer gets back to kind of do anything major. So we're gonna go back to the Nuclino board. So this is my preferred way to kind of keep all of my ideas together. It's a little application. Exists in your browser called Nuclino, not sponsored, but you know, and it has the ability to do a lot of cool stuff. So like, you can arrange your words in the different headings. You can create different labels and things for them. Let me actually get building out like game design documents. This is what I used it for when I first discovered it, was Noble Skies, which you'll get some lore on that. Was trying to make games at one point, and still are, in fact, but you can create just a lot of really cool customized elements here. They have a built-in AI and like a, you know, you can, oh jeez, I don't know. This is just like a Jamboard type deal. Yeah, that's neat. I'm not using that right now, but I might later. But yeah, you can view everything in like, can we see that? Yeah, kind of, you know? Like you've got a little web, like a little word map here. You can do little nodes. So if you're building a novel, if you're writing a story, creating any kind of thing, you're gonna need just a way to block your ideas out. So Google Docs or Microsoft Word or Scrivener or anything like that. Anything you could buy, that's cool, but there's plenty of free stuff. So I use Nuclino, and right now we're working on things like the title and the characters and stuff like that. So Mythogra is the realm. So let's type this out. Let me say this. It goes like this. Realm is like the world. That's what they're calling it. And within the realm you have the continents, which are arranged in large land masses separated by bodies of water. Who could have guessed? And then within the continents, they have little countries that are going to be ruled by different royalties. We're going to call those kingdoms for the sake of efficiency here. And then within those kingdoms, there are city-states. So these are going to have mostly autonomous ruling. They're going to have their own guards. Like, if we're going to liken this to something like Skyrim, it's going to have... I'm really sad I don't have YouTube's chat right now. Like, I feel like everyone is talking in it right now, and I just can't see it. Oh man, because my goofy cursor dropped it just below my taskbar. I hope Micah hasn't told me how to fix it, but I can't see it because, you know, I'm in the wrong chat here. Let me fix that. It's bugging me too bad. I can't focus. Multi-chat. Stream elements. Live docs. Multi-chat. and it's gone. It's gone forever. I really not like grab it out of the ether here. Like it's stuck just beyond my reach, but I really feel like I should be able to just grab it. Alt tab to cycle windows. Micah in DMs. You legend. I knew that was a thing too. I even kind of knew that was a thing. Oh, I guess the problem is that because it's not a window technically, it's a little pop out inside of OBS. Like I couldn't take it and I couldn't move it away. I couldn't move it away from OBS, so it's a part of OBS. So that's not helpful at all. Gee, Micah, thanks a lot, bro. This is actually embarrassing. Let me get the docs. Reset docs. I don't know if I want to reset them. Okay, we're going for it. Okay, it took away so many of my docs. Let me get my chat back. I fixed it, guys. Don't worry. I fixed it and it's back. It's back and it's not back. It's not there. Can I reset these docs? Because I just reset the stock OBS docs. Can I reset these? Edit widgets? Could this be it? No, those are for stream elements. I don't need stream element widgets. I've played around with them. If there's any stream elements experts in the chat that I can't see, let me know. Because I could not figure out how to get those to work. I imported the browser widgets and they just wouldn't update. They wouldn't. I even went live and I tested it for a second and it didn't work. So I don't know. Browse overlays? Of course not. Of course it wouldn't be browse overlays because those are the stream elements overlays. Ugh. This is exhausting. I could open YouTube and Twitch and have them open in the background. But then why did I even get stream elements if I could just do that? It's more convenient. It's more convenient, you guys. Shroud said this is more convenient. He says he trusts stream elements with his life. If I can't trust Shroud, then who can I trust? Absolutely nobody. Okay, I brought Twitch chat back. Let me see YouTube chat, please. There's just not even a YouTube chat box. Oh, TikTok chat. TikTok chat? I could be a TikTok streamer. I could do vertical streaming of this Google Doc on my phone. Why not though? I can't think of a single logical reason why I wouldn't do that. Multi-chat. Why have you gone away from me? It's not even funny anymore. Like I'm actually upset. I'm actually upset that I did that because it's straight up gone. It's gone. It's not even in my toolbar. Okay. Fine. I'll pull up YouTube. This is the only way. Because I have Twitch chat already there. I'll get YouTube's chat going. Don't even worry about it. I'll watch my own stream and like it. I need to mute it. Okay. Alright. Oh, hey, Michaela said more words in the chat. Well, that's great. Well, it's good to know I missed absolutely nothing. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm kidding. What happened? What do you mean what happened? Don't say that. What do you mean what happened? Did something go wrong? Did I break it? Did I break it by clicking out of it for a second? Speak to me, Tori. Oh God. Now Micah's dogpiling. He's getting in on the action here. You gotta. No, hey, hang on. Okay. Restream chat box. Yeah, anything to kind of just really get my multi-stream window back here, because I'm okay, by the way. I'm totally cool. I'm fine. I'm annoyed that I took a window and I just evaporated it, because that had my chat on it, and Stream Elements is like the whole package. So I can just click on to do it every time. Every time I need to click it, I'll just click it. If I could fix my personality, do you think I would be streaming, Micah? Like, let's be honest with ourselves here. There's also a way I've seen people put their chats in chat, or okay. I've seen people put their chats in the stream, but I don't know how to do that either. So I'll figure that out at some point. 45 minutes later, who wants to actually like do some writing? Like, who wants to figure some stuff out? Like, who wants to actually do the thing they came here to do? I'm not. If I could, dude, if I could live up to even half of his legacy, I could die happy. But right now, I'm live streaming Google Docs. So I'm just gonna go back to this. And I'm going to start typing. So when engineer gets back, he can read this. So we're gonna go talk about where is it? Oh, here it is. I found it. Don't worry. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Okay. So we are going to take a look at I suppose I should say, races. I already made a tab for this. Perfect. Okay. So, the first actual writing of the writing stream. I'm so happy. Here it is. So, we have plenty of races listed here. We're trying to create some unique selling propositions here for why this is a novel worth reading. Part of it is going to be the unique and reimagined fantasy races. So the first two I want to talk about are the elves and the humans. And I've made Hero Forge models of kind of generally what they look like. But I'm trying to cling to the hopeless optimism that eventually I'll be kind of making money doing this. And I requested permission from Hero Forge to show assets on stream. So we'll see what they say. I'm not going to do it until I get permission. Just because, you know, they're a really cool company, and I would hate to get on their bad side. They have an affiliate program. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So here we go. So we're going to talk about elves, which are also referred to by their actual name, the Jex. So Jex is like a singular plural, kind of like goose and geese. Actually, not at all like goose and geese, because those are two different words. It's like moose. It's moose. Look at that moose over there. Look at all of those different moose over there. Like, it works the same way. So it functions as multiple tenses. So that's going to be what we're looking at here. And so they feature a host of qualities that you're going to have seen in elves already. Like, they have long lives. They live for, just a comparison here, they age twice as slow as humans. So, average life expectancy of a Jex is going to be about 200 years, give or take. Because of humanity's propensity to die around the time their bones turn to just, you know, powder in their skin. And we also have their ears. They're going to have pointed ears. And they're also going to have a slight golden luster to their skin. So Adam Warlock would need several levels of like foundation to match the skin tone of these guys. It's like kind of like a pallid skin with just the slightest shine to it. It's not going to be full on. Adam Warlock in the MCU is different. The race of golden people, they're not gonna walk around looking like giant Oscars. So they have just the slightest little tinge, and they also have, just generally speaking, a slight purple. What's the word for hair color? Slight purple hair. Like the slightest highlights of purple throughout their hair. And it's going to be like black hair with a bit of purple to it. And there's a lot of uniformity with these races. They're going to have pretty consistent features throughout. For example, the dwarves, which I have yet to come up with a replacement kind of name for. The dwarves have just absurdly large hands and arms. Okay? You're thinking to yourself, don't they all? But like, I'm talking like actual, like, it's absurd. Like, have you ever played as a dwarf in Baldur's Gate 3? Michaela, who joined the chat earlier, did a playthrough where her dwarf barbarian went all the way with Gale, and their romance like scenes are hilarious because, you know, that dwarf lady could palm Gale's head like a basketball. And I want you to imagine that, but just slightly bigger and just busted biceps and arms, just all throughout. Broad shoulders. But they're still going to be short. So their arms reach to the ground. They are just absolutely swole. Short, stocky, stature, and we're going to do... This is going to blow your mind, okay? No beards. What better way to shake up the system than to shave the dwarves, okay? Facial hair is not uncommon, but they're not going to have absurdly long beards. They're considered impractical for combat, because what are you supposed to do when somebody bigger and stronger than you grabs you by like, you know, your chin strap and hucks you down a ravine? Like, you're not gonna know how to handle it. So no, and I will specify, no Lord of the Rings style beards. No just absolute, you know, smoke show beards. Let's check the Twitch chat. Nothing. Let's check the YouTube chat. Micah's been talking. Also nothing. Cool. So we didn't miss much. Let's go back to the humans. So this is the thing. This is the part where this falls apart in terms of being a serious book. You'll know this about me if you go to Noble Skies on YouTube or OU Esports on Twitch. Anytime I do anything, it has to be kind of funny. It has to be slightly kind of off to the side. Just because otherwise, again, like what's the point? So here's kind of where we go sicko mode. Going absolute goofy mode. Straight up degenerate behavior here. Humans are not native to the world of Mythogra. And not in a Christopher Columbus sense. They have been transported through unknown means into the world of Mythogra with amnesia. And therefore, they have kind of had to assimilate into this world. There's a meme that I'm sure you've seen or heard in some form where a nerd gets teleported to the world of D&D or Lord of the Rings, and they go, "Wow, I just can't wait to go on an adventure. I want to get my sword and my crossbow and my leather tunic, and I'm going to save the world from the monsters." And they walk 2 feet out of town and immediately just get their skull caved in by a troll or burned alive by a dragon passing by. That is, to me, That's the funniest thing ever, because that would happen, especially if it was a complete nerd who did it. If they suddenly, and I'm not speaking from experience at all, it's just like if somebody was like, wow, I'm in the world of Genshin Impact, and they know all about it, they're going to go around trying to, destroy the Heartless or whatever the plot of that game is. And that's going to be their life until they die. It's like that. Here it is. It's the one where Link goes to Dark Souls, and he's walking around, and he goes down to the graveyard, and immediately gets his guts ripped out by the skeleton. And it's the guy going, "Welcome to Dark Souls." Profanity censored. You get the point. So, because of that, humans are going to have sort of a reputation for being squishy and unreliable, and they die easily. And because of one human, years before the story takes place, because a single human had enough of their memories intact to remember what the concept is, humans will be referred to as isekai. Another moose situation. That's the umbrella term. And it's not a nice word either. It is not meant to be like a term of endearment like it is in our world, right? It is a derogatory term because humans have such delusions of grandeur. It's like they're going to Disney World and trying to climb up into the animatronics. That's how they are viewed by the other people of Mythogra. So they're called humans, and if you're trying to be mean, you call them isekai because of the one conquering hero who got, creamed by kobolds 2 feet outside the town proper. So, they are fragile, and they are not resistant to magic, the elements, anything. They are just they are like the kobolds or whatever. They are CR0. Let's just say that. They pose no threat to literally anybody. And because they just do not fit into this world at all, they are best suited for menial tasks and crime. You're going to see a lot of humans running around in this world with none of the magical prowess of the Jeks, none of the ingenuity of the Gonks or the Dwarves, none of the ferocity of the Orcs or the Goblins. Several few standouts will be in the story of this novel, but the majority of humans are just completely worthless. And as a result of that, yeah, enduring isekai. Because everybody just thinks isekai are so cool. That's basically kind of what we're looking at here. You've got a race that is constantly pouring in. They are just showing up randomly. Nobody knows what brings the humans through, but it's happening at such a rate that there are places in towns where they kind of set up slums, and anytime a human kind of shows up in their field, they're like, all right, well, you're here now. You can sleep in that hut and sow my crops, and I'll pay you, and you can just kind of do that. We need you to do something, because there's no government assistance here in Mythogra. And that's the menial tasks part of it. In the crime part of it, they are going to be looked down upon. They're going to be just very mildly persecuted in some places. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be all fanciful. Some parallels from other games, sort of a role reversal of that, where it's not the humans being the domineering conquerors. They are just kind of out of their element here. So that's going to play a huge part in the narrative. So that's important to remember. And I've got 2 minutes till I hit hour 1. And in hour 1, I was gonna talk about this for an hour. It's only been like 50 minutes really when you break it down. But I was going to branch off to kind of highlight something else I was gonna bring up, like a little writing exercise that I've learned. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's see. So I will put it to you all to use this if you would like, but I have to keep everything very organized. Like, I get so distracted, and part of my particular brand of whatever is that I have to make sure it's organized in a way that looks good and nice to me, even if it's like a random idea, because you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just write stuff down no matter how it looks, just to get it down on the page. That's the most important part. Quick carrot break. But I don't like doing that on documents like this because I kind of want it to look and translate itself immediately to me. So you take a second to rip a page out or create a new window on your writing thing, and you call it the rambling board. This is my favorite little hack that, I mean, I'm sure other people have come up with this, but this is my favorite. I do this all the time. I will create a designated space specifically for the stuff that is random and has no current place in what I'm doing. So I saw this meme and I saved it to the rambling board because I think it's really funny. So shout out to @literalcyanide on TikTok. That doesn't say cyanide. That says cyan.de, I think. I can't read it. It's really blurry. I wonder how literal it is. Literal cyan DE. His logo is just the letters D and E. I don't know. Anyway, the jester's privilege. This is funny because that's the purpose that jesters served in medieval society. I'm pretty sure that there was a jester in some sort of medieval kingdom. I read this somewhere. He once was sentenced to execution for slapping the king's ass. For some context. I'll look this up later. But he was trying to make the king laugh or something, got a little touchy-feely, stepped too far. And the king allowed the jester to decide his own method of death. How do you want to die? And sort of like Tyrion Lannister, he was like, I want to die of old age. It's like the PG version of that. And then the king laughed so hard that he let him go. And that jester lived a long and happy life relative to medieval, probably England. And, that just idea is really funny to me. And I saved this because, nothing I say seems to matter, which means that I'm worthless. No, you just have jester's privilege. So that's just funny. And this is on the rambling board because it doesn't fit anywhere else. But I have this later in case I want to look at it. So that's what I'm going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special viewer in the chat right now. My good friend, X.A. Clark. Clark's Films Entertainment, as he is known on the internet in this capacity on YouTube. What a surprise. Thank you so much for popping in. This is a live stream I'm doing for my novel writing process for Gaylord. He knows. This guy gets it. So that's what I'm doing. How you doing, Clark's Films? Good to see you. I'm just gonna be rambling for another probably hour and a half at this point. I'm just grinding on this every day from now on. This is all I do now. And I'll go ahead and be a little bit more specific about Clark's Films Entertainment here. Bit of a plug, but I do it gladly. I don't charge for these, so you get a freebie. Xavier, you're welcome. We have the privilege, by me I mean, some fellow people at our university, to be working on the first fully student animated short series. It's called Lakewood. It is currently in the production process. I voice a character. It's going to be pretty neat. Updates about that will be shared on social media by me on my other platforms when they are made. So stay tuned for Lakewood Season 1 premiering eventually. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. If I had a day job to quit, you know I would be there. But as established, I'm doing this. So okay, let's go ahead and talk about gonks. Let's do gonks for a second. Gonks are going to be the same here as their real life counterparts. And dang, I gotta get a gonk in here. I gotta find a picture of a gonk. I'll let you see my opera, I guess. I'll let you kind of peel back the curtain here. Let me grab a quick Google search here. Not gonk droids, but you'll see these at Target and stuff on Christmas. Gonks are these funny little dudes that are basically gnomes from Nordic folklore. So, short, stout creatures with long beards, pointed hats, and button noses. They also wear festive coats and striped socks. So, iterating on the whole Iron Hand gnome motif, gonks are very small. They're very small, and they are very, very crafty. So, small in size. They're anywhere from like 8 to 14 inches tall. They are a diminutive people. They survive and have carved out their own place in the world by building these automatons. So live, exist, or live, and they do everything. They work, live, work, and explore in mechanical mech suits. Mechanical mech suits. These mech suits are mechanical. Can't believe my eyes. Mechanical suits powered by Nexum energy. We got to come back to the Nexum at some point because that's kind of the whole crux of it. So they basically create these robots that they work and they live in, and they're not like intelligent robots. They're suits. They're suits basically. So they don't have the technology for any kind of artificial intelligence. So it's just gonna be like an Iron Man suit without any of Jarvis's kind of influence over it. It's all operated by pulleys and levers inside of the core of the automaton, and the Nexum energy is what actually powers it and allows it to go. So that's fun. And then I also have some ideas for the goblins. Mainly that they are not going to be traditional fantasy goblins. In the short story that kind of spawned this universe, the goblin characters are very like small and really like scrungly, you know, and they've got green skin. So like Clash of Clans goblins combined with, you know, your classic golem little creature guy. And that was fun. But I'm in the spirit of kind of subverting some of these tropes. So I kind of want the goblins to be around the same height and build typically as the elves. They're just going to be like green people. And they're called goblins here because that's the closest real life equivalent I can find. So they're going to be called something else. They're going to be called something else, and that's cool. I just won't even put it down yet. But I will say that the goblins are going to be, right, built relative to the average human. Because So I will say the Jeks are going to be slightly taller than the humans because elves typically are. This is just kind of what they look like. Average height is going to be like on the low end. They're going to be like 5'11", so generally taller than most people. 5'11" to like 6'4". 6 foot 369. Okay, 6'4". So humans are going to be really unique in this world because of the variety of humans there are. They're being pulled from like present day Earth. So think of all the variety you'll find just walking down the street in a normal metropolitan place on Earth today. And the United States is like pretty standard, you know, for kind of the spread that I've thought of so far. The language of this world is not English, but it's English, you know, like it's going to be functionally the same as English, but there are so many different words that humans are going to bring in. Because humans have zero frame of reference for this world, because of the amnesia that takes place, it's going to be tricky for them to be like, oh, this is not normal. But it is normal. It's the new normal for them. So it's like some of them are going to remember, oh my gosh, that's an elf. And so when humans find each other in this world, or they go to the places in towns and cities where humans tend to congregate, they're going to kind of go, okay, do you remember what an elf is? These are basically elves. And they're trying to help their fellow humans remember their different frames of reference for the old world. So let's go ahead and mark that down also. Spawn in Mythogra with amnesia. And we're going to make, actually, not that. This is going to be a subplot. So here's the mechanics of this, right? Mild to total amnesia. So some of them are going to remember, like, their name. They're going to remember what their occupation was. And they're going to have the ability to communicate those things to other humans. Some of them are completely, where am I? Where is this world? Who am I? And they're not going to know their name. So the mild to total amnesia will depend on the person, and it's kind of like a random process. The reason for that is there's going to be a lot of humans, but even more of these other creatures. It's going to create much more depth to kind of like the world building in these different cities that they visit in like the kingdoms. Mainly congregate in groups. Humans will find each other, and the spread of people that get kind of transported through pockets of the Nexum. That is what it is. Random demographics. So anybody, any modern age, race, height, or just like origin of, like, country of origin, right? There's a lot of different ones. This is kind of going to kind of present itself more over a long period of time. I haven't nailed down the timeline yet, but humans have only been coming through here for a couple of generations. So you're going to have plenty of mixed races. To kind of also clarify this, similar to how Dungeons and Dragons and other properties have shifted their language to species rather than race, I will not be doing that for this novel because of the connotations surrounded with like mixed breeding. It's, when done respectfully, much more interesting to me when you can introduce these kinds of like modern social dilemmas. And I think it provides a much more nuanced conversation. And no disrespect to the people who can't have those conversations and don't want to even attempt, but it's frivolous to me to sort of insert ourselves into fantasy so much that we lose our perspective. And so they will be referred to and refer to each other as the different races that live. So all of the fantasy races, you could say, there is very little mutation and very little deviance to the general kind of appearance that you'll see with them. There are recessive traits that you would find in humans. Like elves generally have like long features, like regal air to them, long pointed ears, but you're also going to find some that have like, you know, slightly larger than the national average ears, or some that are smaller, or some that maybe have more of like a stout face. Just as much of that, but they're all going to have that same golden luster to their skin, that same just slight purple to their hair. That there are no natural mutations that really come up, just because that's how these creatures have formed. Now, there are, people that are a product of two different creatures, right? There could be people that have like an orc or whatever for a mother, and a Jex for a father. Let's say that, for example. It's not very common because of like historically, like the cultures between these different races don't really encourage it. Not for any wrong reasons. It's just gonna create a more cohesive backdrop, I believe. What is becoming more common now that more humans are coming in is humans breeding with everybody that they can, that would make anatomical sense to. Because that's what humans would do, I think, in this kind of situation. So we're going to have a lot of half-breeds, right? It's only racist if you believe it in real life. Remember that. And you're going to get a lot of people who don't like this. You're going to get a lot of people who don't encourage it, but they're like, not all for it either. And you're going to have people who encourage it, loudly. Activism. So there's going to be a lot of nuance to that as well. So all of that to say, our main character, let's introduce her. So this is our main character. Her name is Perio Gladly, and she is a half Jex, half human. She's a half Jex, half human. And she is the main character of the story. She has a lot of interesting character traits that we'll get into, I guess, in a minute. That's the problem with this, is that being so kind of unorganized, I don't have a ton of, hey, Stormy Skies, I'm sorry I missed you a while ago. You missed this, but I had such a trial with my actual stream setup here that my chat is gone for YouTube. I'm on Twitch and YouTube right now. I can't see my YouTube chat, so I have to pull it up separately. I really appreciate you dropping by. While you're here, while everybody's here, take a little jaunt over to YouTube and throw a like and a subscribe to Dad Dungeon Master. Please and thank you. If you want just some classic wholesome D&D content, really chill vibes over there at Dad the Dungeon Master. Please go like and subscribe to him, because he is a super cool guy. Let's I gotta find that. I bought a bumper sticker from their merch store. I don't know where I put it. It's not on my car. It's not on my car yet. I put it somewhere and I don't know where it is. Shoot. I will find it. I'll show it because it's really cool. They have a lot of really neat merch at their store. Anything from stickers to a lot of different apparel. It's pretty neat. It's pretty nifty. Revan OW, my man. I'm just loving this right now. This is fun. This is why people stream. That's crazy. This is so much fun. Anyway, Revan, my good buddy over at the University of Oklahoma Overwatch team and a fellow writing cohort, asks, how is the outline going? It's going pretty well. Let's find out if my green screen eats this book. Oh, it doesn't. I guess because there's no green on it. This is Save the Cat Writes a Novel. This is going to be what I use forever when I'm writing stories, because of just how nifty it is. So Revan and I will be writing our novels by this methodology, and it separates the hero's journey basically into 15 beats that take place over the course of a story. So just as kind of an example here, the opening image to the catalyst, which are 2 of these little stories, are going to basically take the first 10% of your book. So it doesn't go by page counts or word counts. It goes by percentage of the overall length of the story. If you take too long to kind of get into what makes your story exciting, then your audience loses interest. But if you go too quickly and don't actually give the audience anything to latch onto, you're going to lose them in a different way. So to answer your question, finally, Revan, I've got about the first 40%, kind of up to the fun and games section where there's the B story. I've got all that locked down in my brain. And part of my stream is going to be writing that actually down and getting it onto the page. And yeah, I'm still really working on the overall plot, like the midpoint, right? I still have to figure out kind of like what starts the downfall of the hero, what Perio's going to have to deal with. It's going to be interesting, since there are a lot of different antagonists that are just kind of clunking around in my brain. I believe you're also writing a fantasy novel. Am I correct about that? Helping a lot with pacing. It's helping me with pacing, too, because, I had no idea how long to spend on any of this stuff. And then let's not gloss over another first-time chatter, just to shout him out. Number 13th, how you doing? I like that. Wait a minute. Did you create that email? You created that. That's a really nifty. I don't want to say something that could be construed as insulting just because I'm stupid. I thought it was a Pokemon at first. And if it's a Pokemon, it's a cool Pokemon. If it is not, what it is cool anyway. It is a Pokemon. Okay. I should have trusted myself. Revan knows this about me. I am kind of an all-purpose nerd, so my knowledge is spread out so thin across so many things. Ooh, fantasy western. A fantasy western from the man himself. That's so cool. Wow. Yeah. That's actually really funny. I was going to kind of play around with the western setting when I was starting out. I thought 2 things that don't go together: cowboys, werewolves. Ooh. And then I started plotting out a story that I called Low Noon, which was like, I don't need to explain the play on words there. It's got to be one of my favorite things I've just ever kind of come up with out of the blue. But I ended up shifting to more of like a fantasy setting for that. Cowboys versus Demons. I'm down. Sign me up. Get me front row seats to that film. Thank you for sharing that, because this is another point that I want to make. Right? You'll know you've got a good idea, right, when you think to yourself, this is cool, right? It doesn't need to be, oh, this has never been done before. Oh, this is unique. Or, oh, this is going to shake up the system. This is going to change the whole industry. No. You know you have a good idea when you go, that's cool. Even if it's been done before, like, you know, because who needs another D&D inspired fantasy novel, right? But I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to have fun writing it, so I'm going to do it. And Cowboys versus Demons, like, I'm sure if I thought for a minute I could think of something that's been done like that. I can't off the top of my head, but that's just cool. That's a cool, like, matchup, and I want it. I want a copy on my desk by the end of the week, along with those pictures of Spider-Man. Okay, good stuff, Revan. Gods, demons, shamans, all the good stuff. Please and thank you. That's going to be awesome. I was also interested. I'm interested in collaborating in a way or two with some other writers in future streams. So let's do that. Let's make that happen, buddy. All right. Can't wait. Can't wait for Cowboys versus Demons. We're bringing Pokemon. We're bringing Stormy Skies, D&D. We're bringing all of it. I'm so excited. This is I'm having fun. This is fun. Okay, here it is. By it, I mean the point I was trying to make earlier that I've lost. Quick carrot break. Here's a story. A little bit of like a content warning for you here. I don't know. Explicit? Is it explicit? It's certainly immature. I'm not gonna go so far as to say it's like inappropriate. I mean, you do you. Whatever your own standards are. But like, dietary fiber is insane. I discovered recently that I have been irregular for so long. Like, probably since I was a freshman living in the dorms. And I'm not going to complain about the dorm food at the University of Oklahoma. I'll name drop that because I've already done it a couple times. But, like, it was extremely, like, carb heavy. It was extremely, like, you'll find a lot of filler. And when I actually had somewhat of a functioning metabolism and somewhat of an actual, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? I just didn't really care about what I was eating. I wasn't eating vegetables. I move out of the dorms. I'm thinking, okay, I know what I generally like to eat now. None of it was vegetables. None of it was fruit. I should have made better choices, but I didn't, and here we are. I've been eating carrots. Bro, I feel alive again. I feel like my skin is like got blood flow through it now. It's like crazy. So like carrots and other vegetables, you know, high in, you know, vitamin, whatever the one is that helps your vision. I don't know, but it's just like, you know, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling down, just eat a carrot, man. Eat a carrot. Eat a root or a stem or a bulb, perhaps. Any of those are going to set you right. Thank you, number 13th, for the encouraging words. This is going to be just a lot of fun to write. The luck part I'm going to need when it comes to hitting the word count deadlines. Because, oh my god, it's going to be crazy. Basically, I did the math, by the way. Revan, you might have also done this, but 428 and a half words every day for 16 weeks straight. And I say 16 because we don't have to start turning stuff in until the third week. But, like, why would you wait, you know? I've learned the hard way that doesn't work. So, like, yeah, you have to make sure that you are on top of it. 528.5 words a day is doable. Like, if you break it up into chunks like that, I've done that already. Like, that's been my entire academic career, is writing just incrementally every day. So, like, why not? You know? And it's going to be, I think, a little easier for the novel because it's one consistent setting, one consistent tone. The characters are established, and you can play around with them for longer periods of time rather than just kind of dumping them after you reach your 2,000 word count. You turn in that short story, right? So, all that to say, thank you, number 13th. If I know you in real life, you should, like, whisper, because I absolutely do not recognize your username at all. But if you're a friend of mine dropping in, thanks for dropping by. If you're just kind of discovered it, is he even in the chat anymore? I don't know. Oh, there he is. Thanks. Hey, yeah, you're awesome. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate the chat. What was I doing? What was I talking about? Let's go back to the document. I think I've taken enough of a brain break to justify going back to this document. Yeah. Yeah, Micah in the YouTube chat says, yeah, I can write. On a good day, I can read too. Yeah. I'm going to need you to read something for me. It's called the United States Constitution. Because it's time to drop in to the field, Helldivers. That's my way of covertly telling you that we need to play Helldivers later. Just in case you didn't notice. Okay, here we go. Back to it. What was I doing? I can't even remember. Okay, let's get Perio. Let's get Perio fleshed out a little bit. So she is the son of a Jex woman and a human father, or a human man. Her mother was, and I just want you to imagine like an elf with purple hair and golden skin, right? I can't think of any. I haven't drawn comparisons to any celebrities yet because that's usually what I do. It's like if I'm plotting out like my fantasy novel about the cowboys. I could not imagine my main protagonist as looking like I couldn't imagine him looking anything else except like Antonio Banderas, and because he is a suave gentleman, and I don't even know if the character like would have been white or not. I didn't get that far into it, but just Antonio Banderas is just like the pinnacle of like seeing him as a gunslinger. He's been in movies, I think, where he was a cowboy. I don't remember. The point is, I have no frame of reference for you yet. My Hero Forge model just kind of looks like a lady. Once again, once I get permission for them to share my... Did I say son? Nuh-uh. No, I didn't. You're yanking my chain right now. I did not call him a son. Okay. Perio is the daughter. She's a woman. She's got a mother and a father, and she's a woman. Do I have to write female so I don't forget? Perio is not the son. And then number 13 brings up an interesting point. Isn't that Zorro? You might be right about that. I will absolutely cop to it if it is Zorro, because that's a cool... It would not be the 1998 one. Let me see. Oh, it is the 1998 one. Look at that. Yes. The Mask of Zorro. Why is Tom Holland in this? Is Tom Holland in that? Why is he up there? Oh. Whoa. Antonio Banderas wants Tom Holland to lead a reboot of Zorro? Are you okay? I mean, sure. I mean, I'm sure because he's a fine actor, that Tom Holland. I just don't see where that inspiration comes in. But thank you for clutching up for me on that one. Number 13th. Zorro. So yeah, I usually will think of a character or a fictional character played by a celebrity to be like kind of the backdrop. Micah does bring up a good point. She has all of the standard like female anatomy, like eyeballs and a prosthetic arm. So let's expound on that a little bit. Let's go back to the Nexum, because I have to talk about the Nexum in order to explain how she kind of functions in the story. So basically, the Nexum is like the Weave meets midichlorians. Crazy, right? It is a force that exists inside of all living things, and it can be channeled and it can be harnessed by creatures who have it written into their DNA, basically. Humans, not being from Mythogra, have no access to the Nexum. They cannot channel it. Yeah. Micah used to think that the septum was like close to the rectum and that they were connected in some way anatomically through your body. That's a real story. This man was at least 19 years old when we had this conversation, and he thought the septum connected to the rectum, everybody. Anyway, so that is like the Nexum's main goal in the story is that it is like life magic that can be accessed by creatures who were given life from it. And it basically works by manipulating and transmuting the matter of the world. In the short story that this is spawned from, which I guess we'll have to read at some point if we're doing this, but we'll worry about that later. Perio does a couple of things with her Nexum channeling. So she can basically create a flame in her hand by like burning the air into like a little orb of fire. She can make wood shatter like glass by changing its fundamental properties. There was a table that was stacked high with gold coins. A sturdy wooden table that she focused on and with a thought was able to change the wood to just like a material with the same hardness and tensile strength as glass, and the table shattered underneath the weight of all this gold. She was able to bend metal by basically liquefying it and then hardening it into a different shape, so changing the way that matter basically exists temporarily. And at one point she also... No, that was the same thing. She used the fire to light a satchel full of dynamite, which did not cause the explosion. The dynamite caused the explosion, not her actual Nexum power. She did, however, yeah, she observed and talked to one of the characters about how this great cave system underneath was molded by mages who used the Nexum to kind of carve out the rock. And a way that could happen is they could like turn the rock where they touched it into like sand, just crumble it down to its smallest grains to be able to transport it easily, and create these perfectly molded corridors and tunnels underneath a mountain. So the Nexum allows you to manipulate matter that is native to the world, and it is primarily used as a way to like create things. So you clear a forest. I dropped my earbud again. You clear a forest, you can very easily turn those logs into lumber that you can use to build houses. You can mold the earth to create foundations for buildings. And then they take it a step further by the transmutative properties of the Nexum, by basically transferring the properties of certain materials to others. They have a certain type of crystal that they can activate with the Nexum and basically turn it into a infinitely glowing rock. Street lamps is like a way you could use that, or like little flash bulbs in little handheld torches, right? You can have somebody in the town who's part of like whatever public works department equivalent there could be. It's their job every night to go out and just remove the property from, all the crystals in the street lamps. So it's very experimental. Like, the limit of what you can do with the Nexum at a certain point is kind of what your imagination. You have enough creative like freedom with it to kind of discover new schools of magic, and it's been created like the schools of magic are just basically like the main subsections of typical ways that people use the Nexum. In combat, it's devastating, obviously, if you're talking about transmuting elements and changing materials and things like that. So that is outlawed for general use. Not even like criminals really use it, because when you think about it, it's like you're changing somebody's like fundamental structure. That's just like a terrible thing to do to somebody. You would want somebody to do it to you, so people kind of recognize that they don't do that. It's like sort of a Geneva Convention of sorts. And humans are terrified of the Nexum because they can't use it. So they have to kind of think outside the box in order to hold their own in terms of combat. So they just can't use the Nexum because they're not from Mythagra. So that's a severe disadvantage that they have. That's where they tend to find like strength in numbers, really. The human camaraderie of it all. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not letting anything hold us back. All the struggle, all of the tribulations of OBS Studio, right? All of it is worth it, because now we are graced by the presence of the one, the only Dad, the Dungeon Master. Welcome, sir. It's so great to see you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to drop in for this stream. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Go subscribe to Dad the Dungeon Master for some of the best balance between like home movie and just like professional quality content you can find. Living proof that you don't need a crazy setup or any kind of clout within this crazy corporate world of content creation that we have to just make cool stuff, right? Go subscribe to Dad the Dungeon Master. Thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you, Dad. I'm so touched. I should put a banner up or something. I don't mind explaining it. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to optimize my process of explanation here. Because, again, this is like my first Twitch stream. So, okay, yeah. Let me I'll quick recap. For my degree in professional writing, I have to write a novel. I'm going to live stream me writing the novel. Mapping out a fantasy novel is the general series, I guess. I'm going to have to, I just saw this comment. It's not a competition, Micah. It's okay. You guys can, you can share. It's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna be mapping out the novel with an emphasis on like the collaboration. So throw stuff in the chat if you want. Throw stuff in whatever platform you're on. Ideas, questions, I'll talk about it. Part of my creative process is talking, like getting stalled because I'm sitting here looking at my computer for hours, being like, I don't know what to do, is crazy. No, you're the man. Gosh, don't embarrass me in front of my friends, Dad. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're glad to be here. This is awesome. Okay, let's think about it. Let's think about what to do next. Because I pause. I was on a tangent about what I don't remember. Let's figure it out. I think it was about the Nexum. The Nexum. So the Nexum being the weave midichlorian thing that kind of exists in all life that people are able to manipulate. Okay. So Perio is, yeah, half elf, half human. She is what is known. Hang on. So she is one of many different umbrella terms for like magic users in this universe. They are typically referred to as mages because this is the magic system. There's no like other kinds of magic. This is magic in this world. So they're mages or they're channelers because the way that you use it is you're basically tapping into the force, the primordial ooze of the Nexum, and you're trying to bend it to your will. And I can think of some other names. Some names, maybe some more in-universe kind of vernacular. That's one of my favorite things to do for like D&D is I'll, provide some immersion to the world by, just making it feel more at home. Characters using words that are special to them because it's like part of their everyday life. That's just different ways you can spice it up. So I'll come back to that with some other names for what the Nexum users could be. But here's what's kind of, even as I try to form that sentence, it's not unique at all, actually. Because I'm pretty sure the Weave in Dungeons & Dragons behaves like this. Baldur's Gate 3 being a prime example. Wow, I can't believe I forgot about that whole storyline with Gale. Remember when he tries to control the Weave and it almost kills him and curses him and all that stuff? So, like, yeah, the Nexum is energy. It is life. As such, it cannot be tamed. It can only be harnessed, and you have to basically, when you're training to harness your power, you need to create balance. So, Nexum users have to be careful. They have to be careful that they don't go overboard. I kind of, when I'm imagining it in like kind of an allegorical sort of way, it's like, imagine that you're trying